I want to introduce a style of dieting I call block dieting. It's an intermediary between the super hardcore calorie counting method of dieting and the much more loose but less, we'll say, effective method of, well, I sort of want to I want to lose weight, so I'll just sort of eat better and I'll eat less. And this is very similar to what Weight Watchers does, except I believe Weight Watchers doesn't do it as heavily with calories. This is a straight quantitative analysis. It's not super robust, but it gets the job done if you're willing to be a little more flexible. So you have all your foods here, and I'm going to introduce how to actually do an example with this. This is just in another video. This is just a general overview of how it works. You've got all your foods, and you're going to bin these into either a fat, a protein, or a carb, which are your macronutrients. And these are the ones that are going to contribute to caloric intake. And so you bin all of them, and they fit like this. Now, obviously, you're going to look at some of these and say that, well, there's fat in donuts, there's fat in steak, yeah. And I'll explain how to deal with that in the example video, but this is kind of the short version. You bin them all into a fat, a protein, or a carb, and then you have to figure out for a standard meal, if you usually eat, we'll say like an 8-ounce cut of steak, or you eat 8 ounces of chicken, or whatever, a fistful of mashed potatoes or a cup of rice, you're going to figure out the sort of average amount of calories that is going to be. So this person likes carbs a little bit more, they eat more carbs per meal. And so this is how you make your blocks. Then you figure out how to fit that into your schedule. So you have breakfast, lunch, and we'll say there's a snack, maybe after work, and then dinner. So you've got these three, and you can put them wherever you want. And we'll say this is how you want to organize them. Do a protein and a carb for breakfast, a fat, a carb, and a protein for lunch, and maybe this is where you do your steak for lunch with the mashed potatoes with a little bit of butter, and so that'll fit as a carb and a protein with a little bit of fat in it. And then for a snack you have a carb, and for dinner you have a protein and a fat. And again, that could be a steak, or that could be like chicken that's pan fried in olive oil. That'd be a good example. And however you organize this doesn't matter. What does matter is that the total number of blocks that are the caloric inputs. So for the protein on breakfast, you've got the 200 plus the carb 350. So that's 550 calories for breakfast. So the total throughout the day has to be lower than your TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure, which is how you're going to lose weight. So I will introduce that in another video, but basically this allows you to still eat the foods that you're already eating without a lot of extra work. You just have to do a couple quick calculations and sort of keep yourself honest with a metric and making sure that your food looks kind of right. Now, there's also some advantages and disadvantages to this method, which again I'll explain in the example video. But if you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed it.